case of bans, what do you think Renegades will prioritize this time? Do you think the Saw will be picked up almost immediately or immediately?
No, they don't need to pick Saw first because they can second ban it. They're going to pick the Arden, so obviously Renegades will be expecting a Churnwalker pick from Impunity, and so Impunity have the decision of either, yeah, we're going to do it, we're going to trust that you do not have a counter play to our Churnwalker, or Impunity are going to go for, okay, we won't pick it, but no, they're going to go for it. I'm happy that they've gone for it. I think that's the best decision for them. They're so good with playing Churnwalker, and they're going to, once again, ban Taka, just ban that counter pick to their Saw. And so, what is the play for Renegades? Are they going to try a counter? We saw 5-0 first try their Celeste and Fortress counter, and it didn't work. Can Impunity pull something out? And no, can Renegades bring something? Sorry, and no, Renegades cannot. They're going to ban Saw. I like that ban, even though I would have loved to see a Saw being played with this Churnwalker. It makes way more sense for Renegades to not let it through.
Yeah, we do see a lot of Saw coming through from the EA, Vainglory EA, East Asia. But we do not quite see in the Vainglory 8 Southeast Asia. However, these two teams are the teams that are bringing Saw back in trend. And so we saw the pushing capabilities of Saw, and it's just such a strong hero right now. And if I remember correctly, I think in one of the EA matches, right, both teams, they were just fighting for the Saw, and the team that generally gets Saw wins the game for themselves. So, very good ban coming through from the side of Renegades, just disallowing the Saw to go through into Impunity. But we do see Impunity or DevQ in particular very comfortable on that Vox as well, and they will secure the Reza for themselves. So if Renegades do go for a very squishy, laner or squishy jungler, Reza can basically just trump them, walk over them, put pressure towards them in the early game.
This is an almost identical draft for Impunity game. They picked up Churnwalker, banned Taka, and they picked Reza. And now their last pick can be a Vox if they decide to try and counter Reza with Rona. But they're not. Renegade's going to be smart. They're going to pick the Vox for themselves, deny it away from Impunity. And obviously Kestrel is still available. Pretty good against Vox. In a 1v1, Kestrel has outrange, and Reza's quite good at diving in onto Vox. But it all depends on what that last pick from Renegades is. There's lots of options. I'd like to see someone like Alpha. Vox Alpha works really well together. Reza does not counter Alpha at all. Alpha does well against Reza because you have that ultimate, you have that reboot, which means Reza's never going to burst you down unless you miss your ultimate, which I wouldn't expect from Renegades. So I think that's a smart pick. Ozo, again, could work well against Reza and Churnwalker, but it's really a comfort pick for Renegades deciding what they want to go. I don't think going for a squishy like Celeste would make sense. I definitely think it's going to be a Bruiser.
Yep, a Bruiser will make the most sense coming into this draft itself. And as mentioned, the only Bruiser, the only CP carry I can think for Renegades to pick up really is that Alpha, especially with that Brian being taken out in the first phase of ban. So that Alpha will come in clutch for the side of Renegades, and with the speed boost as well. But no, Renegades, they will go for that Fortress, and we did see 501st Legion actually using this Fortress to go up against Impunity's Reza. Didn't quite work out, so I'm quite interested to see how Renegades will play this Fortress. And we did see also coming out from 501st Legion, as long as they are not pressured in this early game, Fortress will definitely have the damage going up against Reza or the team of Impunity in that of the mid to late game. Once that he has got the level 6, he has got the ultimate available.
Yeah, I think that Fortress, it's not a great pick. Renegades have decided to go for it, similar to what 5-0 first did, as you said. But I really think that Fortress just isn't that good at the moment. He doesn't have very much damage. If Fox dies, Renegades have lost the fight. There's no question about that. So all that Impunity have to do is they have to focus the right target. If they focus Vox and kill him, they can ignore Fortress, and he's going to be pretty useless. But Petal, we're being told, is the last pick by Impunity. So that weapon Petal does quite well against Fortress. If Fortress jumps in, Petal can jump away. You'll kill wolves very quickly because you have high attack speed. So those wolves are going to go down really quickly with a weapon Petal. It's a smart pick. I think Impunity are slightly ahead in draft, mainly because they have two heroes that can win the fight, whereas Renegades have only got one. All their eggs are in the Vox basket.
Yep, we can basically just visualize how the fights will turn out. You have Reza just jump back into the back lines, take Vox out, and Fortress don't have the best pilling, capabilities amongst all the heroes. At least for Alpha, you force the entirety of Impunity to just jump on you because of the immense amount of damage that you are putting out. But as for Fortress, you are just going to jump in. You are going to use your ultimate for that fortified health, and that's about what you can do. And for the fact that the side of Impunity, they do not quite have healing heroes, your Mortal Wound is not going to do much or affect the side of Impunity anyways when you are on this Fortress and Vox. So I'm with you. I think Impunity definitely have the upper hand in terms of draft.
Yeah, but we are having to wait and find out, see how Impunity going to, if they can dive the Vox, or if the Vanguard, even double Vanguard from Echo, will be too much. Vox will sustain, and if Vox survives the fight, he'll build up his breaking point stacks. He'll be a menace to try and deal with. But we are now loading into the house to unfold for the first game of this finals. Let us know who you think is going to win in the chat. Is it going to be Renegades, or is it going to be Impunity? I'm really looking forward to this game. And obviously, Fortress does struggle early game with that jungle clear, and that's something that Bluxty can try and capitalise on, as we saw him do fantastically on it just before.
Yep,
and before, sorry.
And it has been a while since we last saw Renegades going up against Impunity for the finals, at least. And this will mean a lot because now Impunity, if Impunity do win this game, and 2 games or so, they will gain themselves 8 points. No, 2 games, sorry, 4 points, and they will be above of Renegades in terms of point standings if they do. But now Impunity is very aggressive.
Bluxty jumping in the protector contract from SNK and the giving Spaghetti a pretty much barrier at this point. But Impunity going to rotate back towards that Elder Tree, and they're happy to just not win the fight if they can get a bit of farm away. But interesting rotation from Renegade. They're going as 3 to push this wave up, try and make Petal lose a little bit of CS. And he's now going to backport. But Bluxty, once again, the same rotation from him as Reza, straight to the backs. He left the front, sorry. I thought he left the Elder. He left the camp. And so he is not going to get a base camp. But Fortress didn't port. He was stopped by the port. Now Reza is going to get his entire jungle. Look how slow Fortress was taking it. Now Reza is going to be so much quicker. Get these camps, probably going to back off because he would have been told by his team that Fortress ported home. So really nice play from Impunity, getting themselves ahead, and that's something that I love Bluxty for doing. He does it so well on Reza.
Yep, and we saw Blue City on this Reza just was so very aggressive in that first game, or rather in that game with Impunity going up against 500 first, and it was just so very difficult for 500 first to just farm up and get items. At the end game, we saw Reza sitting at 80 CS and the Rona only at 30 CS. So maybe Uni have to reconsider, the rotations coming through, because if he continues just allowing Reza to just invade and take and remove his farm, it will be very, very bad. Blue City may be spotting Uni out, but Uni will just spot his time.
Blue City's like, right, I don't care. I'm going to get you backs again. He's timing. Blue City knows exactly as well as his own, and now Fortress is like, oh, I've just lost 2 back rotations, let's do a fight, and I'm going to lose this. Bluxty doing a lot of damage. Fortress is starting to win the fight, but Bluxty is going to get that troublemaker and the basic attack. Looks like Bluxty is going to go ahead. There's the Scorcher. Basic SNK is going to try and come through. The healing flask is enough. Quarterboard is going to come through with some chains as well. Bluxty is going to be able to get a lot of damage onto SNK. Chain is going to push that damage onto Uni as well. SNK is going to take a bit of poke, and Uni's going to full protector contract. It's not quite enough. Bluxty's going to go quite low. Voxes wants to rotate, and Uni's so low but unable to get to be taken down. Now Bluxty will kill SNK if SNK decides to fight it, because he got that healing tree in. Going to jump over the wall and get another tree in if Bluxty wants to, and that's just the power of this Reza. Even early game, he's such a strong hero. He does fall off towards the later stages of the game, but Fortress cannot contest his jungle. If he does, Reza's like, okay, I'll just fight you. I've got a Churmwalker, going to win this fight, and now once again Impunity 1k gold ahead.
Yeah, but we do know that, Fortress as a hero, his build is super economical. So he don't have to quite work with a very large amount of gold to make him very effective, because his effectiveness generally comes at his level 6. Now Uni trying to take his farm back from Blue City, but Blue City will just secure both of his back and easily just walk away.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, even though Uni knew exactly Bluxty was doing, there was nothing he could do about it. Bluxty, with that Aftershock, basically picked up because of his kit. If you get that Scorcher, next basic attack will deal massive damage. You'll be able to burst pretty much anything in the early game, unless you're up against the Crawl. I think Reza can secure minions better than anyone else, as long as you just practice it, know how to actually do it. 4 minutes, 23 seconds in, Bluxty hits level 6, has that Netherform Detonator. Once again, 2 levels ahead of the enemy jungler. That's the problem with Fortress. Too slow at farm clear, too slow at farm secure, so that even if he fights, Reza's able to get the farm. And also, Reza can run away by just running over walls. Reza's so good at that. Now, what is Bluxty going to do? Before, he went towards the Sentry and started trying to take that out. Now, Uni is going to be able to get his jungle because Reza can't do it. But this time, he's going to go to lane, try and focus Spaghetti. I'm sure Spaghetti will know something's up because Fortress is like, hey, Bluxty's not taking my farm. He's probably in lane, and that's Resonance Bounce. So that Pulse will spot him out.
Yep, the Pulse will spot him out, and Blue City may just want to back off here. But then Uni is still not too shabby at level 5. One more clear, one more rotation will probably get him up to level 6. But it's just, once again, like you mentioned, 1 level or 2 levels behind that of Blue City. And Blue City, as we can tell, already inching ever so closely to that level 7. Will have that extra damage, extra level, extra health as well. But then we do not see quite a lot of aggression coming through. There is a pattern, there is this thing between Renegades and Impunity. Even if they do have the lead, they generally play super passively when they are up against each other. And it is just so weird to see because it's quite obvious that Blue City have got the upper hand right now. But once again, we don't see any form of aggression coming through.
Speaking of aggression, the turret is going to go down. Best timing of the Caster's Curse I think we've seen today. There's been some good ones, but that is nice from Impunity. Before you've even finished your sentence, they're starting to take that tier 1 turret down. Now Impunity looking to try and be a bit more aggressive. They have the jungle control now because they took that tier 1 turret. Uni going to get bursted down by Bluxty. He wants the Triad. He's going to get it. No, Uni secures that. Bluxty unable to get that Empower basic attack off. One chain. He's going to be hit by Quarterbar. Second one onto the Sentry, but there's the attack of the pack used by Fortress. Sentry's going to go down. But no, he's not. Yes, it will to the petal. And now Spaghetti is going to be going quite low, and Reza gets the kill. No, Churnwalker somehow gets the kill with the 6 damage a second of the chain or something similar to that. And Impunity, even though they're up against a minion candy wave, should get this tier 2 turret as well. Impunity don't need a sword to push turrets. They can just do Reza and Petal. And this tier 2 turret is going to fall 6 minutes 45 in.
Yep, and you mentioned as well, Petal worked very similarly to that of Saw, right? In a sense where you just basically just stand there and basic attack. Of course, you start to step along the way as well. But generally, that is what Death Q on this weapon Petal will do for the entirety of the game. You will not see any crazy spontaneous combustion damage. Death Q would probably only use it for healing, and that's about it. But the side of Impunity definitely looking very, very strong for themselves. Only picking up 1 kill. Right? 7 minutes in, just 1 kill, but already sitting at 4k in terms of gold lead over to the side of RNG. And Fortress, yes, very good when you get your wolves, when you get your dogs running alongside you, but it's just not enough, especially with the early game team comp coming through from the side of Impunity. And one thing, you can actually play Churnwalker generally in 2 manners, right? You can go for that push comp that we see Impunity just so very good at. If not, you can try the engage comp with Churnwalker, which we saw Impunity pull out as well. Churnwalker and that box, pretty much an engage comp. You want to distribute as much damage as possible. But now we are seeing a very different gameplay. They don't have access to the saw, but they have Death Q on this Petal, and now RNG forced to back away, but we do not count RNG out of the fight just yet. They are very good at turtling up. They are very good at late game comebacks. So I'm still rooting for them. I'm still hoping they can pull out some sort of miracle, and I do not use miracle very lightly.
They might be able to. Impunity are also masters of this early game aggression. They do it so much. We've seen games finish in 15 minutes. If they could do that against Renegades, that would really make a statement that Impunity might be the new top team for this season and this split even. But that is going to, we have to wait and see what they can do. But working towards Dragon's Eye, no matter how much I tell Bluxty he should build Broken Myth, he thinks Dragon's Eye is a better idea. So they're going to pick that one up most likely once he gets this back rotation. And yeah, as you said, 1 kill. But a 5k gold lead is very impressive. It's not easy to do. They're going to go to a 6k gold lead now with these backs. And it's just something that we haven't seen an awful lot of just counter jungling. just running to the enemy jungle and seeing if you can take it. Against a fortress, it works so well. The CS difference is double. Bluesty has double Uni's CS, about 30 more, and DefQ similarly about 20 CS more. And now mini candy used. What are Renegades going to do? They want to back off. They do not want to go anywhere near Impunity at this point.
Yep, they do not want to. Spaghetti sitting at a breaking point and a tornado trigger, and that is quite the spaghetti build. Whenever he plays on this Vox, a lot of attack speed, very little raw damage or damage in terms of just Sorrow Blade and just a raw sense of damage. And then you look over to DefQ. DefQ just building crit on crit, and now Crystal Sentry being candied as well. I think the entirety of Impunity have to run away.
Yeah, Cordovar. If he gets 4 chains though, I think they're going to win the candy, but he's going to run away. He doesn't know, thinks the candy is too OP, so now they're going to turn it around. 1 chain, going to be hit by Cordovar. He's getting futility of life so far. He's not going to go down. Bursted down by Bluxity. SNK's the next target after a Uni. Takes a bit of time, but Bluxity gets a double. And RNG tried their best. SNK's going to walk into the loving arms of DefQ on this battle. And he's like, where do I go now? I'm just going to run away, run towards your turret, kill myself under turret, and Petal gets the kill. Not an ace though. SNK did delay long enough to deny the ace, but Impunity just backed off away from the Candy Crystal Sentry and then took a fight. Cordovar was low, gets a couple of chains, gets utility of life, healed up, Bluxty bursting down the 2 carries, and Impunity looking strong.
Yep, Impunity looking very strong for themselves, but what the side of Renegades maybe have to do is just back off a little, right? I mean, you've minioned your Crystal Sentry, maybe it's time to back off that. Don't try to force a team fight with your Gauntlet, because at this point in time, I don't think the Gauntlet should be used as aggressive as how SNK is using. I mean, yes, they do not know the goal lead Impunity has on them. 4 kills in, 11 minutes in, and Impunity already have a 8k gold lead over the side of RNG, and it's not difficult to achieve. It is not easy to achieve this at all, especially against a team like Renegades. They are a well-known team in Southeast Asia. They played very, very well. They are the top of the charts, and yet Impunity able to score this 8k gold lead just 11 minutes in, even without kills. And yes, you've mentioned it before, it's very difficult to see counter jungling these days, and I think the only reason being is because of the emphasis placed in lane. But because of how well Impunity can just split their aggression and split push, they can just easily achieve this.
Yep, so they are now pushing that gold lead, 9,000 gold in the lead at the moment. They want to get another Crystal Sentry charge, but SNK, he has not got any more candies, but he's already prior on the Sentry, but it's going to get down to half health. There's the gauntlet, aggressive, DefQ's going to jump out, he's going to get Leza with another form of destination. Spaghetti going to get stunned up, and that is going to be a lovely lovely ultimate from Cordovar. He just trespassed through the entire team, gets so many stuns. He's got his echo up in a couple of seconds. Sentry's eliminated already, and Cordovar just going to chain up some minions, double torment, and that is going to be an ace. The Bluesty did go down on the Reza, but Impunity don't care. Vox is up, but DefQ's going to get this turret.
Yep, that will be the anchor turret down for the side of RNG. And at this point in time, although I said earlier on I do not count RNG out, but it's just so difficult, especially with Impunity sitting so very close to the 10k lead. And as to
they've got it, yeah, they've got it.
Oh, there you have it, After clearing out the jungle, after clearing out things, they've got the 10k gold lead. Just now they were shy by about 100 or 200 gold. But then now Impunity just looking so strong, they can easily start out any objective. And if Red RNG wants to try to challenge, try to fight with them over the objective, they will be immediately just blown up. DefQ earlier on, very close to just being taken down by the side of RNG, but Bluesty jumped in with the Nether Form Detonator, was the first to go down. Too bad for Bluesty, I must say, but I mean, not a lot of gold given over to RNG anyways. A lot of the gold is sitting on DefQ, 4 kills in, and I'm really impressed by how Impunity is just able to just split focus. Like I mentioned earlier on my point, Impunity able to split focus in that of lane, apply pressure in lane, and apply pressure in that of jungle. Not very easy to do, to be completely honest, but I must say it is just down to draft that the side of Impunity able to achieve this.
Once again, Impunity want to win with the 15 minutes. Gauntlet comes down. Defcute, block out the way for him. He's going to very low. Lovely ultimate Sherlock, but it's not going to be enough. Luxie is the last man carry standing, and what can Vox do? He's built up to 11, breaking one stacks up to 12. Atlas comes through from Sherlock. He's got some chains. Is Boosty going to do the turnaround? He's going to try it. Spaghetti's going to go quite low, but he's not going to go low enough. Luxie's the last man standing. He's going to run. Troublemaker up in 1 second. Will he be able to get away? He's going to go quite far, but Uni's going to try and turn it around. Luxie is going to get Atlas, and Spaghetti, couple of basic attacks. Turnaround ace for Renegade. They get a very empty gold mine, and not a great amount of gold for them in their favour, but they will get the mentality of, we just want to fight, we can win this game.
I mean, they kind of just soften the gold lead, the side of Impunity have over them, and they might just look to push this turret, but they do not have the wave on their side, but it will be pushing in very, very soon, and they can easily just take this first tier turret down, unless, of course, Quattropo have got an answer, but maybe not. So definitely
going to get 2 chains, 3 chains for Quattropo. This is a great time for Impunity to fight this. Torment, second Torment. If they fight, they're going to win this. But that is going to be Bluesty getting the kill onto the box. No, Petal actually gets the shutdown, and a double for Petal. Can he get the triple? Defky wants to get it. Will he get it? No, Chairwalker gets the ace, and Impunity, I don't think they can win the game. They're far too far away from the base, but they're going to try it. Sure, they want this win.
They won this win, but when SNK respawns in 17 seconds, he will have that gauntlet. And what really happened then was Defq, very good gauntlet coming down from SNK, trapping Defq and the edge, stunning Defq out, and Defq was
in the focus. Here we go. Defq gonna be bursted down, and now onto the Vein Crystal. Defq, Netherlands Destiny used by Bluxty, and a silence, but the gauntlet doesn't land. Defq's going to go down, but there's going to be Bluxty onto the Vein. One more basic will secure the victory. I didn't think Impunity could do it. They knew they could. Impunity take the game.
Impunity definitely very, very impressive coming through in this first game, going up against the Nemesis Renegades, and they definitely did show that Chad Walker is up there in terms of captains.